Look who it is, my favorite student. Did you have a good break, wee wad? Oh God, why? Why immediately? Okay, I asked for the beards, and here they are!
Here comes to wreck the day!
Hello friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise swearsies, it's just a fact, it's totally science. Go ahead, look it up. Thanks so much. Beardschool is back in session, everybody. Go ahead, sit on down. We're gonna have ourselves a bit of a ramble, and by that I mean it's a Manny Beard heavy episode, so let's see how it goes. School of Beards, Chapter 32, Fall Wall. Is Humpty Dumpty trying to leave me a message right now? Egg Boys gang was here? Well, Bean Boys gang stronger. What's your favorite protein? Let me know in the comments. Anyway, subscribe to ReddX. Oh, it's Fall Wall, not Wall Fall. Humpty Dumpty joke, yeah, it's fine. And support our Beardy research, yes! And inane rambling online, thank you. I'm feeling a bit under the weather myself, and writing this is 100% my distraction from how lousy I am feeling. Well, I hope you feel better soon. I do much the same when it comes to recording things. Just become another person for a little while, it's fine. It doesn't help that we are now officially hitting the so-called fall wall. This is the weeks between autumn and winter break when the kids and the teachers are just counting the days, and no one is really feeling it. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Watch A Christmas Story for the 5th time today. Just the first 30 minutes of it, so it'll drive you insane. On the bright side, I got the results of my yearly observation today. It went quite well. Yearly observation sounds ominous to me. I don't like that. Don't watch me. What I'm doing over here is my business. So yeah, it's always nice when admin recognizes that you're good at what you do. Anyway, Red, I had no idea you had so much trauma tied to talent shows. No, it was just the one time, basically. And a spelling bee one time where I cried like a little baby. But we don't talk about that either. I was a child.
Oh, don't cry, are you?
It's 4th grade. I didn't know how to lose yet. We need a ReddX Industries talent show in the Discord to help you overcome your deep-seated talent trauma. We're all here for you, Red. As tempting as that sounds, I don't think I'll be able to make time for that. It's unfortunate. I'm working on my political doublespeak. Did it work? Speaking of Discord, check out the self-promotion channel on Red's Discord for a link to join my Discord server for Emerald's Cave, which is OP's narration channel. Have you checked it out? Maybe you should. Okay, now, I believed I promised you some Beardy stories from Standard High, so let's get to it. Indeed, people don't have the attention span that they used to, let me tell you. I love to go on a good ramble and then people are just like, read the post! No, I don't think I will. We're going way into the woods. You couldn't go home if you wanted to now. Alright, story number 1. Beardy Feast. Is this just John Goodman at Thanksgiving?
When I'm finished, you can have what's left.
There won't be any left. There's never any left.
It was the first day back from Thanksgiving break. Yep, called and got him. It was a lovely week, aside from a few hiccups. Beetle's cat Hal passed on the first day. He was quite old, but these things are never easy. Yeah, you never really want to let go, you know? I was talking about that on the live stream last night. Every Sunday, early in the morning. Alright, we've done so many plugs, I can't do it anymore. Especially over the dead cat thing, that's how uncouth. Poor Beetle was in a walking cast at this time as well because he had broken his foot. I saw someone comment on how Beetle is often hurt. And yes, you're right, he is. No, I don't beat him for recreation. I saw that comment. I know it was a joke. Very funny. Ha ha. Oh, come on. It's razzing. Everyone has to know how to take a bit of a razzing now and then. OP says, no, the reason Beetle's often injured is twofold. 1, Beetle plays hockey. A good fraction of his injuries are related to that. And 2, Beetle is one of the clumsiest people that I know. He trips over his own feet. Combine hockey and clumsiness, and you have a dude that has more bandages than Les Nessman. That's a WKRP reference, old sitcom. Whew, showing my age now. Yeah, I don't know what that is. There's just one line in an Eminem song. Was that Slim Shady LP? Where, yeah, he says he dressed like Les Nessman. I didn't know what that was until just now. Shot to the front of my brain like a lightning bolt. Anyway, the other issue our family faced was my brother was in hospital for a week. He had this very odd combination of 3 infections. It required surgery and was just not good. He's fine now, other than those hiccups, it wasn't bad. We went to the movies, had a lovely American Thanksgiving dinner, God bless it, which I have become quite fond of, and I spent a lot of time napping. Alright, I was promised a feast of beardery. I'm gonna start banging my fork and knife on the table. Bring the beards! Bring the beards! Bring the beards! Anyway, so yeah, first day back. First moment back, actually. I parked the car and we got our stuff to head inside. Just as we were about to get to the sidewalk, we heard a voice. Look who it is, my favorite student. Did you have a good break, wee one? Oh God, why? Why immediately? Okay, I asked for the beards and here they are.
Here comes to wreck the day.
Do you still like it? No, send him away. English Beard was trying to catch up to us. I believe he was trying to trot, but it was more of a clunky, fast waddle. Yes, a canter, if you will. Yeah, we once said, looking at me. We had a lovely break, English Beard. Happy to be back, though, I said as I sped up my pace. Just throw all pretense out the window and start running. Bolt away from him as fast as you can. And scream, run! Run, we won! He's coming! He's right behind us, oh God! Maybe he'll get the message at some point. What did you do, wee one? English Beard asked. I spent time at my grandma's house, wee one said softly. How nice, English Beard said. I could tell he was about to say more, but I stepped between he and wee one. You have a fabulous day, English Beard. We really gotta go. So much to do, I said as we bolted for the side door, knowing that he would use the back one. So yes, a minor beard encounter, but indeed not a great way to start the day. Yeah, you escaped, and quickly. I don't know what else I expect. This is often the advised protocol, so good job. Truth be told, most of the day was pretty great. I was so excited to see my classes again and get back to teaching. As nice as the break was, I truly missed work. Yeah, work gives you like a sense of purpose. It's a wonderful thing. At least to a certain point, because you can't overdo it and burn out, and it's a hard line to walk sometimes. Anyway, OP says, after my last class, I had my conference period. I had a meeting with Coach AP. It was time for my annual evaluation. I am one of those weird teachers that looks forward to it. I love showing off my classes and what we're doing. I always end up getting a great review, so I don't feel like I really have a reason to dread it. Unlike a lot of teachers here who they're showing up for a paycheck, essentially. Coach AP and I chatted about what I would be teaching on observation day, and then I had the rest of the period to be productive. Today, that meant going all over the school and putting up posters to promote our new National Technical Honor Society. As I mentioned, I was launching a branch of the NTHS on our campus, and I was very excited about it. Sounds pretty lit. Can you build a battle bot? Otherwise, I don't really care about any of that. The problem with putting posters up at Standard High is that our campus is very large. It's laid out very nicely, but the size of it is just obscene. You don't understand. We need to be the biggest. By the time I made it to the end of my path, I was exhausted. I had 2 posters and 3 flyers left and was putting one of said posters in the cafeteria when I saw a class walking in from outside, which was weird, but okay. Following the class, Pastor Beard. I'm not sure why he took his class outside. It was really a very cold day. Regardless, I turned and faced my poster and tried to tape it up as quick as I could, hoping he would just walk on by and not say anything to me. Of course, he did not do that. I mean, none of us would ever really expect him to do that. What's that poster for, Abby? Pastor Beard asked as he stopped walking. His students continued up the stairs without him. National Technical Honor Society, I said. Pastor Beard looked the poster over, although I swear I felt his eyes look me over too. What is that? He asked. An honor society for CTE classes, I explained. Does it cost money to join? He asked. I nodded. Yeah, there's a one-time due, like any honor society. I see. Are you sponsoring it? He asked. I nodded again. Yeah, I'm actually the one launching a chapter on this campus. Very cool. Good job there, Emmy. Way to step up for the students, he said as he patted my shoulder. Oh yes, I did it all for accolades from an overly familiar weirdo. I don't give a shit what you think about it. It was gonna happen with or without your blessing, so suck on that. Now I realize why I don't make friends so easily sometimes. OP says, I took a step back. Yeah, well, I see it as a benefit to the students, so I'm happy to take it on. His class was long gone back to their classroom at this point. If you need a co-sponsor, let me know. I'm sure we could work well together, he said. No, I don't need a co-sponsor, and if I did, I'd rather it be another CTE teacher, not an English teacher, I said. You should go. Your class has abandoned you. I suppose I better. See you around, Abby. He smiled as he walked away. Yeah, he thinks he's a lot more charming than he actually is. I shuddered after he left. Just talking to him made me feel gross. I shook off the cringe and got back to work. I didn't know that Beetle had his own Pastor Beard run-in the period before. Beetle had gone down to the mailroom to check his box. Pastor Beard was in there and saw Beetle's walking cast. Dude, what happened? Pastor Beard asked. Beetle sighed. He was embarrassed. This was not a hockey injury. Those he doesn't mind talking about. This one was the result of clumsiness. I accidentally kicked the iron dog bowl stand and broke my foot. Pastor Beard started laughing. Bro, you need to come up with a better story. Beetle shrugged. That's what happened. You kicked the dog bowl. Wow! Pastor Beard laughed harder, much to Beetle's annoyance. Yeah, it was dumb, but I'm fine. Emmy is taking care of me, Beetle shot back, and Pastor Beard stopped laughing. Oh my gosh, OP, everybody's going after you! This feels like very much a Mary Sue type of situation, but you know what? I'm gonna let you have it. Beetle didn't give Pastor Beard a chance to respond, much like myself, and he grabbed the papers from his box and turned to leave. See you, mate. He walked away as fast as he could, given his current condition. I mean, really anything Pastor Beard could say in retort would make him look like sort of a weirdo, so yeah. All there is left to do is try and cool out. Anyway, back to me putting up posters. Yes, the most fascinating of story arcs. I stayed busy until the final bell rang, and then I went down to duty. Duty. When I got there, I had to stop myself from falling on the floor laughing. Beetle had worn a green tank top with a really nice pink button-up over it. He had left the shirt unbuttoned. When I got downstairs and saw him at duty, I looked over at Manny and saw that Manny was also wearing a green shirt with a pink button-up shirt over it, unbuttoned. It was almost identical to what Beetle was wearing. Oh my god, no. I covered my mouth so I didn't burst out laughing. Beetle rolled his eyes at me. Yeah, I know. Did you plan that? Oh my god. Are you besties now? Should I be worried? Are you secretly texting him all night? Is he prettier than me? I asked. Emmy, shut up, Beetle said, rolling his eyes again. I've been replaced as your BFF, I laughed. Beetle narrowed his eyes. He was not amused by my teasing. Yeah, this sort of a coinky dink. You can bet he ain't never gonna wear that combination again. OP, on the other hand, was highly amused. It was then that a thought struck me. He has no personality. None, Beetle agreed. Unless Oblivious Beard is a personality. Exactly. And with that in mind, I have a morbid curiosity. What would he be like to hang out with outside of work? Like, what even would he be like in his everyday life? I was cut off. No, Beetle said. Aren't you even a little curious? I started. No, he said, cutting me off again. But you guys are best. No. You love it? No. I still think it would be fascinating to see Manny off campus, and I did say it was a morbid curiosity. I mean, he probably doesn't do Jeffrey Dahmer things, so yeah, it's okay. Maybe.
We're gonna hang out, gonna watch a movie, gonna take some pictures.
Two, Manny on repeat. That last story seemed like a good lead-in to this one. It was Wednesday of our first week back, so just the third day. Yes, I could discern that part. I had my annual observation, which went very well. We covered that. As I mentioned previously, I enjoyed having Coach AP come see my class in action. This was also the day of the dress rehearsal for the talent show. Unfortunately for Beetle, the day wasn't all roses. There was an English team meeting that day. I was in my cave grading papers when I got a text. Manny was in here, arguing about classroom management and how to keep his class engaged again. He's just in real deep denial about this issue, isn't he? I laughed to myself and replied, details, please? I need research notes for ReddX Industries research purposes, and Manny is one of our top specimens. Was I mentioned in the text message? That's amazing. You know, the more people say my name, the more we grow in power. That's how this type of thing works. Go ahead, shout it from the rooftops. Nobody will know what you're talking about. They'll be like, that's a defunct Xbox app that lets you read Reddit threads? What are you talking about? Anyway, then Beetle relayed to me the following tale. The simple fact is we just do not have enough time for poetry and drama as two separate units, so we need to combine them, Sonia said. Yeah, keeping the arts down as always, ain't ya? Beetle sighed. I'm just gonna brush on them as two very short units. I can't combine that many complex concepts for my kids, but I can see where doing that in on level needs to happen. Dude, you're using jargon. I don't even understand what the hell we're talking about right now. That's fine. You always handle the curriculum a bit differently from the rest of us. Do what you need to do for your kids, Sonia agreed. Now, the rest of us should have read The Monkey's Paw today. We all good there? COVID Beard and Amy nodded. I guess my kids read it, Manny said, clearly annoyed. What do you mean you guess? Sonia asked. I told them to read it, Manny said. You didn't read it out loud as a class? Beetle asked. Manny shook his head. What the hell were you doing with your time then? Miss Dean looked around the room. Did the rest of you? Sonia, Amy, and COVID Beard all nodded. Okay, Manny, what was your reason for not reading it aloud? Miss Dean asked. Manny sighed. He hated being questioned. I just don't think I can keep my kids quiet for that long. Finally, a crack in the mask. His way of asking for help, maybe, perhaps, in a roundabout sort of way. Beetle's jaw dropped. Tell me you're a shit teacher without telling me. Oh, come on. It's his first year. What do you want? Or second year, I guess. I'll go to bat for him. He seems like a good kid. Thick as a brick, dumb as a doornail, but he's still a good kid. Miss Dean nodded. Okay, do you feel like they're understanding the story when you let them read it on their own? Manny shrugged. They just aren't interested. Nobody likes English. They aren't engaged. Beetle bit the inside of his lip to keep from blowing up. Well, Manny, it's our responsibility to make sure the students are engaged in lessons, so they're receiving the instruction that we're giving, Miss Dean replied. Yeah, but they just don't care, Manny Beard countered. Then make them care. What are some of the things you can do to keep your students engaged? Maybe we could give Manny Beard some examples to help him, Miss Dean said. Mannybeard opened his mouth to speak again, but Sonia piped up, so Mannybeard crossed his arms and sat, silently seething. I like popcorn reading because it keeps the kids on their toes, Sonia said. For those non-educators, popcorn reading is an oral reading strategy where the teacher starts reading and then after about a paragraph, the teacher stops and says, popcorn, and picks a group of students to read next. And this is fun, why? Because it's named after popcorn. Popcorn is fun, okay?
Popcorn!
COVID Beard nodded.
I like to turn on a YouTube audio of the reading, but I make sure to stop it every few paragraphs and ask questions to ensure that they're understanding.
Yes, as little interaction as possible. YouTube can do the heavy lifting for me. Both of those are great strategies. Do you think either of those could help you, Mannybeard? Miss Dean asked. Manny still had his arms crossed.
That wouldn't work for my students.
Miss Dean nodded. Okay, I'm very sorry, but I have another meeting I have to get to. Maybe you can all keep brainstorming and find something to help Manny. Yeah, I've washed my hands of this. I got a tuna fish sandwich that's been waiting for me for about 4 hours. If I don't get in there soon, I'm gonna be on the shitter all night, so good luck, fellas. Miss Dean left the meeting, and within 90 seconds of her walking out of the room, Manny stood up and left. He was clearly not interested in any strategies that might help his classes become more engaged. I continue to be baffled by how and why this man is a teacher. Beetle continues to be annoyed by every interaction with him. I told Beetle that he needs to have a private chat with his BFF and help him out. That probably would work better for Manny than, the group session. He doesn't want to be put on the spot like that. He's got his pride and his ego for whatever stupid reason, but as far as I'm concerned, let him keep it. You want my help? Oh, you don't? Okay, well, drown then, I guess. Story 3, Helga's Return. Oh yeah, I remember Helga. Before we get into the story, I need to introduce you to another student. This one we'll call Vinny. Vinny has the distinction of being the first student to ever make a 0 in one of my classes for a grading cycle. How do you get a 0 in an animation class that has several participation grades? Well, you don't participate. And Vinny didn't. He skipped class a lot of the time, and when he was there, he wouldn't even log into his computer. He'd sit on his phone, no matter how many times I told him to put it away. I wrote him up, and he got called to the AP several times, but nothing changed. With absolutely nothing to grade, all I could really do is give him a 0. I tried calling and emailing his parents. I never got a response, and Vinny had the nerve to call me a liar when I emailed his parents about skipping class. Yeah, Vinny's got some real problems at home. You can't really help him from where you're at. Just try your best and keep your fingers crossed, I guess. Anyway, on this particular day, Vinny had tried to skip my class in another teacher's classroom across the hall. I saw him go in, and even after we made eye contact, he tried to skip. He doesn't even go anywhere, it's just an empty class. The other teacher and I both made him come to class. Once again, he sat there on his phone. Vinny, I need you to put your phone away and log into the computer. Do you need help getting started on this assignment? I asked. Vinny slammed his phone down. I'm not even gonna be in class next semester, see? I'm getting out. I nodded. And that's fine, but you still need a grade for this grading cycle. Vinny ignored me. I sighed and left him alone. There was no point getting into a power struggle with him, so I decided to let him exercise his right to fail. I certainly couldn't force him to work. Yeah, lead a horse to water, watch it die of thirst. That's fine. You'll get it figured out, Vinny. He's gonna be the best you ever seen at laying brick, and he's gonna do it till he's 80. And he'll wish it had gone differently, but oh well. We pick our paths, you know? After school that day, I went down to duty and was watching the kids like normal. Yeah, completely normal. I don't watch the kids in a weird way. Why would you imply that? It started like every other day, until I saw someone fall to the ground out of the corner of my eye. I turned, and Vinny was on the ground, and a girl was standing over him, hitting him with a shoe. Uh-oh, she pulled off the chanclas. I ran over. Stop, I said, as I tried to position myself between them. Nah, we were just playing, Vinny said. We don't play like that in school, I said, noticing Miss Dean rushing over as well. Vinny stood up and walked over to his friends, one of which was, of course, Helga. She started pushing Vinny, and he pushed her back. Stop, Miss Dean told them. I stood behind Miss Dean in case she needed my help. Oh, we were just playing, right, a-hole? Helga said as she pushed Vinny again. We don't use language like that in school, Miss Dean chastised. Oh, you mean you can't say fuck? Well, fuck, Helga said. Vinny and the other kids in the group laughed as they started roughhousing again. Helga took a wrestling stance and went at Vinny. No, ma'am, we're not doing that, I chimed in. Not at school, Miss Dean echoed as Englishbeard wandered up. I sighed. He was about to make this so much worse. Is there a problem here? Englishbeard asked, standing next to Miss Dean. Hey, it's the racist teacher, Helga laughed, making her friends laugh. That's how all this got started, don't you recall? Englishbeard scowled and said, I am not. Miss Dean put her hand up. That's enough. School is over. It's time to go home. Helga went at Vinny again as they all started towards the exit. Better run before the racist teacher eats us brown kids, Helga said. She and most of her friends were Hispanic. Englishbeard opened his mouth to speak, but Miss Dean just shook her head. Yeah. You're only giving them ammunition. I watched as the kids finally left and sighed with relief. Yeah, they might kill each other out there, but at least they ain't on school property. High five, everybody. We saved them. Yeah, I'm not a racist, Englishbeard mumbled. Englishbeard, you can't let them get to you. Especially those kids. They just like to push people's buttons, Miss Dean said. Well, area looks clear, so I'm gonna head out. Have a good one, mates, I said as I headed back to Beetle. Did you see that chaos? I asked him. Beetle shook his head. No, I was on the other side. What happened? My jaw dropped. I couldn't believe he missed all the commotion. I filled him in, and he got wee one and headed home. I do believe this is how beards form, my friends. No, I gotta disagree with your detective work there, Lou. This is a different kind of degenerate that we're looking at, for sure. Thug, gangster, hoodlum, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, they're all one of them. Not only did I have a run-in with Helga again, but of course, she was mates with Vinny. In the words of Eric Cartman, how do I reach these kids? I don't know. I don't even want to go to school. Unless I can be the popular kid. I think some kids are just unreachable. You shuffle them through and hope for the best. No kid left behind. Get the fuck out of here. Story 4, Fire Drill. Here's some fresh beardery. This happened just this morning. Because our admin hates us, they decided to do a fire drill 5 minutes into first period. Hilarious. That's like a really good prank, actually. Of course, this would be the day that I feel like shite and just want to do the bare minimum and get through the day. God, I feel that too. The fire alarm blared out, and Beetle and I each took our respective classes outside on opposite ends of the school. Neither of us knew that the other was having beard encounters at the same time. Whoa, cue up some of that X-Files theme music. Let's start with mine. Oh, yes. Ladies first, yes. I took my kids down the stairs and out of the school, and we made it to the field where everyone's supposed to meet in the event of an evacuation. I counted my kids and ensured that everyone got out safe. I was monitoring them to ensure that none of them used this as an opportunity to skip when I heard a voice boom over the chatter. It's too early for this, Beard said. I looked over, and he was standing there playing his Switch. Beard, do you have a class? Beard didn't look up from his game. Yeah,
They're somewhere around here. Somewhere.
You didn't take attendance, I asked.
Nah, they're all high schoolers. They can take care of themselves,
Beard said, playing his game intently. I mean, I love a good bing bong woohoo machine as much as the next person, but at a certain point, yeah, make sure those kids don't get hit by a car, how about? OP says, I just blinked, unsure of what to even say to that. I turned my attention back to my kids and waited for the all-clear announcement so we could go in. I heard a fire truck siren in the distance and groaned. This was one of those drills where the fire department had to actually come out and clear us to re-enter. That always took forever. I was cold and I was nauseous, and this was not how I wanted to be spending my time. All I wanted in life at that moment was some shrimp ramen and cuddles with Beetle and pajamas and a blanket and my cat. I focused on the thought of that happy scene. This is when you just shrug at the invisible camera that nobody else could see, OP, and you're like, it's a living. Part of me felt like I should be pushing Beard to find an account for his class, but a bigger part of me just felt crappy. I decided it was a not my circus, not my monkeys type of situation, which is basically all situations ever.
Mostly.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the school, Beetle took his whole class outside and gathered with the other English teachers and students.
That alarm is so loud,
Typical Beard complained.
If I lose my hearing because of this, I'm gonna sue. I don't know what for, but I will.
I don't even remember who Typical Beard was. They never were introduced with the return of this series. I don't remember what the hell they're like. But okay, they're here, they're typical, they exist. Beetle rolled his eyes. Joys of hearing aids. I just turned them off during a drill.
Bro, you wear hearing aids?
Pastor Beard asked, and Beetle nodded.
Yeah, for over a year now.
Pastor Beard laughed.
Hockey rink too loud?
Is that supposed to be an insult? What the fuck does that even mean? Beetle looked at him.
No, I've actually always had trouble hearing. My mom just never took me to a doctor to check it out. It's only recently diagnosed. Doc thinks that the hearing loss happened when I was a lad due to an ear infection that was left untreated.
Bro, that's exactly what's happening in my right ear right now. I took antibiotics. I thought it was treated, but yeah, it flares up again. Just itchy and gross and horrible, and I hate it. I wish I knew how to properly treat it, but that's a problem for WebMD, I guess. They're not a sponsor also.
Seriously, dude? Your mom never took you to the doctor?
Pastor Beard asked in disbelief. Beetle's expression darkened.
Rarely. Ironic, really. My mom was a nurse, but yeah, she rarely saw fit to take me to a doctor. I guess she figured the saints would heal me. Oh, right. You're Catholic, Pastor Beard said. Recovering Catholic, Beetle corrected. All the more reason you should bring Abby out to my church one Sunday, Pastor Beard said.
Wow, that sounds miserable. No, I'd hate it, and I think I've told you that multiple times. I will ask you this once respectfully. Please stop inviting me, okay? I see what this is. It's all in service to your own ego. Go fuck yourself. Like I said, maybe this is why I don't make friends so easily sometimes. Beetle was over it at this point. His mom is a rather sore subject with him. Mother of the year, she is not. Sorry, mate. We're busy sacrificing black cats on Sundays. Salvation is no laughing matter, bro, Pastor Beard said. Yeah, how about I'm not your bro? Neither is someone's medical condition, Beetle countered. Oh, snap. Beetle taking this one to the mat. Proud of you, pally. Manny overheard all this and walked over to Beetle asking, What medical condition? My hearing loss, Beetle said. Oh yeah, it's kind of like a superpower, like you have super hearing now, Manny said. What? No, Manny, it's like I have normal hearing now, Beetle sighed.
Can you imagine what it would be like to hear everything? What if you could hear people's thoughts too? Oh, that would be really good hearing,
Manny said. I mean, he is de-escalating this situation with aplomb. I don't think he realizes that's what he's doing, but he's doing it. Beetle was frustrated, saying, "Trust me, Manny, you don't want to hear my thoughts." That's true. A lot of those thoughts are going to be pretty fucking gross. Do you know what the average person thinks about? Because I do. Yeah, it's gross. Just then, they finally gave the all clear for us to go back inside the school. On both sides of the school, Beetle and I were very happy to be able to get inside and get on with our day away from the Beards. And that'll do it for this installment of School of Beards. As always, thank you to Red for reading and keeping on this journey with me. It always makes my day when I see a new Beardschool video. She wrote School Beard, but she meant Beardschool because that's my branding for it. It just hits the ear a little bit better. May I also suggest the Bowler Beard Saga? It's the spiritual sequel to Squirrel Beard. Is that a fact? Yeah, right. That's on the end card then. On a side note, the idea of texting Squirrel Beard has been tempting lately. What the fuck? Are you really trying to stir it up? I don't understand. Beetle coming after me and Pastor Beard coming after me isn't enough. Let's throw Squirrel Beard into the mix. If you do it, then you're dead to me. That's what I know. Maybe it's the festive season melting my cold heart. Well, then you rely on my sub-zero heart. If you do it, you're dead to me. I've made my thoughts well known. Why did I include this side note? Because if I tell you all about my stupid thought, then I'm far less likely to actually do it. Especially after I've admonished you personally. Anyway, subscribe to ReddX, support our Beardy research. Top secret research on super AIDS is still underway after all. Until next time. That's right, Super AIDS! Get it now! Catch the fun! There's no looking back with Super AIDS.
He's got AIDS!
I need to not let that drop. I kind of love that as a meme. Thank you as always for sharing your stories and whatnot. I did put Bowler Beard on the end card for you. It really is a funny, derpy beard saga, and I think you'll like it. Click all the things, links in the description as always. Thank you to my Patreon patrons, my YouTube channel members, you guys, super MVP. And I want you all to always remember that you are loved, you are worthy, you definitely deserve it, and I shall see you in the next one. So until then, bye-bye. Go ahead and cut them open. It's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine.
Promise swears it's just a fact.